Hey everybody, it's your boy Mo Money Incorporated, and tonight we're not doing a shout out video. That's right, we got a box of nickels and I am pumped. Let me tell you why I'm pumped. Because this box of nickels was made up from 3 different banks, and one of the banks gave me this roll. Check it out. Brilliant uncirculated. Yeah, we got the shiny stuff going on here. Okay, the rest of the nickels, they're going to be circulated condition. We're going to check them out. As soon as we have our first find, we'll be back to show you a close-up. Well, YouTubers, it's roll 3 that gives us our first find. Let me show you a close-up. Let's see, 1953. Let's see if it has a mint mark. I'll use my little cheater a minute. 1953 Philly. So we'll put that up on the board and we'll be back with our next find. And in roll 5, we have our next find. Let me show you a close-up. 1939, and I checked the back, and unfortunately, it's from Philly. So we'll be back with our next find. All right, roll 8 in the box has brought us our next victim. Let me get in focus for you here. It is a 1949, and it is, let's see if I can get the mint mark, a D, 1949 D, people. Thank you very much. We'll bring back our next find in a couple minutes. Well, YouTubers, roll 9 brings us 2 keepers. Our first one, show you a close-up. Our second, 1939, which reminds me to tell you that if you collect nickels and you need any particular year or mint mark, please give me an email. Let me know, coolcoins2014@gmail.com, and I will be more than happy to help you out with that. This one here is a 1958, same roll. Unfortunately, it was also a Philadelphia. So, you know, not too bad though. We have 5 finds so far in the box. We'll be back with our next find shortly. And we're back with roll 10, producing yet another find. Here it is. Let me see if I can get it into focus for you. A 1957 D from Denver. 1957 Denver. Thank you, and we'll see you shortly. And we are back with roll 11, producing 2 finds. The first one, let's see if we can get it, 1957, it was a Philadelphia. And the second one was a 1958, flip it over, 1958 D. We'll be back with our next find shortly. Well, YouTubers, things have slowed down a little bit, but roll 16 brings us our next find. Let me get up so I can show you here. Get in focus. It's a 1957 from Philly. And you know what? I owe you guys a big apology because I didn't even tell you what I'm searching for. I'm searching for anything from 1959 and earlier. Of course, we're looking for buffalo nickels and silver nickels as well. And like I said, if you collect nickels and you need a particular year or a particular mint mark, I have a pretty big collection of nickels. So I'd be more than happy to send you something, or we could set up a trade. I have rolls of nickels that are in circulated condition that I'd be willing to trade as well. So let me know in the comments if you need anything. We'll be back with our next find shortly. Well, YouTubers, we're back, and roll 26 has given us our next find. It is no other, let me try to get in focus there for you, a 1946 Philly. We get a lot of Phillies here in New Jersey. You know, I know in different parts of the United States, you probably get more Denvers than Phillies. So again, if anyone ever wants to make a trade, hit me up. We'll see you in a couple minutes with our next find. All right, the box is starting to heat up as we have our next find. It is a 1956 out of Philly. See you in a couple minutes. Roll 30 has our next victim coming out. And it is, focus, there we go, 1941 out of Philly. So at least we're getting some earlier nickels now. I prefer to stay in the 40s and 30s and maybe find some more nickels. But you know what? We have a pretty decent hunt going. Let's see how many more finds we'll have. All right, it's roll 32 giving us our next find. It is a 1940 and it was out of Philly. So this box is starting to produce roll after roll, which is cool, but I would love to find myself a buffalo or maybe even a silver war nickel. Let's see. We have another find. It's nothing special. It's a 1956 out of Philly. However, this roll only had 35 nickels in it. So someone gypped me, what, 25 cents? 5, 10, yeah, 25 cents, right? All right, so you know, that's what happens when you have customer rolls. You sometimes get like really good ones and other times you get gypped a little bit. So that's the Coin Roll Hunters tax. We'll be back. Everybody congratulate me because this roll had 2 finds. Let me show you. We have a 1958 out of Denver. Let me see if I can get that in for you a little better. Hold on. There we go. 1958 out of Denver. And his identical brother. 1958 out of Denver. So congratulations to Mom and Pops. You got 2 identical baby boys. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Roll 37, the best roll yet, I guess, because we still don't have any silver or buffalo nickels, but we do have 3 finds to show off. We have, let's see, a 1940 out of Philly, a 1948 out of Philly, and a 1957 out of Philly. So while this box has not produced any silver or buffalo nickels or V nickels for that matter, it is producing a lot of finds and I'm happy with that. See you in a couple minutes. Well, YouTubers, I just had my best nickel roll ever. Let me just scoop up all of the finds for this one roll. It was crazy. Okay, let me just stand up so I can show you some close-ups. First, 1957 out of Philly. Next, 1951 out of Philly. Then came along a 1946. See if I can get that mint mark in for you. Having trouble with that mint mark. It might be a Philly or it could be a faded D for Denver. So we'll get back to that at the recap. Next came a 1942. Could it be silver? Flipped it over. No, it's a faker. Oh, heartbreaker, baby. Don't worry, folks. We've got better coins ahead. 1946. Out of Philly. See what I'm talking about here in New Jersey? All we get is Phillies. 1940, you guessed it, out of Philly. This is still the same roll, people. 1957, out of Philly. 1948. Give me something other than Philly. No. Here we go. 1943. We have silver. Could it be out of Philly? Yes, it is out of Philly. Still the same roll. 1954. Out of Philly. 1939. That's our third one. Oh, I almost forgot to check. Of course, out of Philly. What? Another war nickel? 1943? Out of Philly. $19.39. Come on, Denver. No, out of Philly. And finally, a 1947 out of Philly. I can't believe it. We can't get a Denver or a San Francisco mint if our life depended on it. But you know what? 2 war nickels and all those finds in one roll is amazing. So we'll be back with our next find. This has been the strangest box ever. Roll 47 has 4 finds for us. We'll save that one for last. Okay. Let's stand up and give you a close-up on this. This here, this monster, is a 1958. And guess what? It's finally out of Denver. We have a Denver nickel. Of course, it's going back to the bank, but we have a Denver nickel. Next out of that roll came a 1946. Yes, you guessed it, out of Philly. Then we had a 1948. Let me just turn that in my hand a little bit. A 1948, also out of Philly. By the way, this roll had 34 nickels in it, but I guess they tried to make up for it because they put a quarter in it. How can you freaking fit a quarter into a nickel roll? I don't know, but they managed to do it. And it is the Everglades. So never have I been so happy to see an Everglades quarter. We'll be back, maybe with some strange finds. See you soon. All right, YouTubers, roll 49 was a good roll as well. We had 1, 2, 3 finds and one more. So let's talk about these finds. Let me show you some close-ups here. Flip this one over for you. A 58 out of Denver. We had a 53 out of Denver. Here comes Denver, finally. We had a 1957 out of Denver. And way in the back of the roll, the third war nickel of the box, 1945, but we're back in Philly. If roll 50 has any finds, I'll bring them to you. If not, we'll go to the recap. Well, YouTubers, it was a great box. And before we get into the wrap up, I just wanted to remind you that one of the rolls that I was given today by one of the bank tellers was this 2004 Lewis and Clark Brilliant Uncirculated Roll. As you can tell, let me just hold it. We got shiny end on that side, and we got shiny end on this side. If you're interested in this 2004 Brilliant Uncirculated Roll, please get in touch with me by emailing me at coolcoins, COOLCOINZ 2014 at gmail.com, or leave me a comment in the comment section and maybe we can work out a trade. Now, next, I will be bringing the wrap up to you. Okay, YouTubers, we're back and we have the wrap up, and it was quite the box. We had a little bit of everything going on. We start off with 1939. We had 4 of them, all Philadelphia. Moving on over to 1940, 3 from Philadelphia. 1941 from Philadelphia. A 1942 from Philly. Then we go down to 1946. We had 4 from Philly. 1947 from Philadelphia. 3 from 1948. And 1949 from Philly. Then for the 50s, we had a 1951 from Philly. We had a 1953 Denver and a 1953 Philly. We had 1 from 1954, which was a Philly. We had 2 from 1956, both Phillies. In 1957, we had 2 Denver, and we had 5 from Philadelphia. And 1958 went crazy. 6 from Denver and 1 from Philly. Now for the stars of the show. The 1943, the 1943, and the 1945, all out of Philly. We had a couple from Canada. Whoops, there's the first one from 1986, 1987, and 2012. But tonight's star of the video was, you guessed it, Everglades. Who would have thought about putting a quarter in a nickel box? I want to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's video. And remember, if you want to make a trade or you need any nickels, any particular years, any mint marks, hit me up in the comments or email me at coolcoins2014 at gmail.com. And I want to thank everyone for staying with me. Sorry about the shaky hands. This is Mo Money saying that if you're just sitting around the house not doing anything, you need to get off your butt and make yourself some Mo Money. I'll see you at my next video.